let's talk about some welterweights because I feel like we don't talk about that enough. And that's honestly because the division is just a little weird right now. We have Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, all right? They were the last ones to fight for the title. The time before that, the fight before the third fight, Kamaru Usman had he was beating Leon Edwards. Let's be completely fucking honest. That first round, I would have given it to Leon Edwards just because of the takedown and the way he was looking. But then after that, it was completely Kamaru until the very, very last minute where he got him with that kick. They fight again, right? The third fight. Hold on. I need to like hiccup or like burp. Coffee. In the third fight, they fight, and me and my dad were watching. I think we have the reaction. Do I have the reaction of that on YouTube? I don't know. I know. I feel like we do. I feel like we do, but I don't remember. And we were just like, what the fuck, man? You guys don't want to fuck each other up. I mean, Leon Edwards held onto the cage like 3 times. He kicked Kamaru Usman in the balls twice. I think he poked his eye. Like, what didn't you do right? What didn't you do wrong? What didn't you do wrong? That's the right thing to say. As the champion, I saw on Twitter today, and I forgot what it said, but it made me say that I feel like there's no welterweight champion right now. Solidified welterweight champion, I don't feel like there is. I know Leon Edwards is the champion. Factually, he is the champion. Like, Jawan, you're fucking tripping. Leon's the champion. I don't know why. But did he really win? Like, win. I want to see the champion win. I feel like nobody won that fight. So I'm like, all right. So who's going to be next for Leon? Kobe? Kobe hasn't fought in a fucking year, and they're giving him the title shot already. And he lost twice against the champion before that. Like, I would love to see Kobe go and beat Leon Edwards because I feel like that's how it's going to go, low-key. But should it be Kobe? I don't think so. I mean, Bilal would be a better matchup. It could have been Gilbert, but Bilal just beat Gilbert, unfortunately, because of the freaking shoulder injury. I don't know. Like, the welterweight is just on pause for me. I don't know how it's going to go. And now they're giving Khamzat Chimaev, who isn't supposed to be fighting in the 170s ever again because he missed 8 pounds. He was 8 pounds overweight in his last freaking weigh-in. And his last fight was against Kevin Holland in the Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson main event card. That was Khamzat Chimaev's last fight, and they're already putting him against Kamaru Usman, who could debatably be still considered the welterweight champion. In my opinion, I think like you could still give it to him. Even though the last fight, I would have given it to anybody. The second fight, I know Leon won at the very, very end, but still, Kamaru Usman was winning that fight. So I would still give it to Kamaru Usman, even though he did get knocked out. I'm not trying to take away any credit from Leon Edwards on that part, because I know like you did knock him out with that beautiful fucking unexpected kick that was placed so perfectly. Like that, I will never take away from Leon Edwards. But the whole like, and he sneezed. Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm telling you, it's like there's dust or cat hair or something here, but it's just bothering me. They want to give them that fight in October. And I mean, I'm down. I'm always down for a freaking squabble. I'm always down to see, you know, these two guys fight. Who wouldn't be excited to see them fight? Kamaru versus Khamzat. Khamzat had a huge name before the whole 8 pounds thing. And then he was acting like a complete fucking idiot about the 8 pounds that he missed. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care, brother. Like, no, bro, there's rules. You don't care about the rules. Maybe you shouldn't be in this division anymore. And I feel like that's what we left up on. I feel like Dana White had said when he missed all that weight, he's never fighting in this division ever again. He's staying in middleweight. And I was like, well, yeah, duh. Like, if he can't make the cut, like, why still have him in the 170s? He said, I could have made the cut, but the doctor told me, no, stop. So I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of like, he said, they said, we think, they think, they all think. I don't know. The welterweight division is a very confusing place because there's never a clear fucking thing. Like, there's always something behind something. If it's Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns, it's because Gilbert Burns got hurt with his freaking shoulder. If it's Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards, it's because Leon Edwards caught him at the very last minute. If it's Kobe Covington versus, there's always something behind something, and it's never a clear decision, so that's why it's so confusing to me as a fan, and I feel like to all the fighters as well, because it's like, no, who's next? Who's really next? Should it be me? Should it be them? Should it be him? Should it be there? Like, where? Who? What? Why? When? You know, there's all these questions, and that's never getting fully explained to where it's okay to understand. Like we've come to a complete understanding about what's going on in the welterweight division, and now you're adding in this what's the word that I'm looking for? You're adding a variable. That's the fucking word. You're adding a variable that's not even included in this. Damn, I'm forgetting math. I'm forgetting the terms for math. What's the word I'm looking for? Variable for the equation. That's the word I'm looking for. You can't figure out the equation because you keep adding in variables that aren't full variables. You know, it's not gonna add up completely. It's gonna leave us right in the middle in a decimal point somewhere. You know, and I feel like by adding another variable that doesn't have anything to do with this equation, it's like if you're adding 2 + 2, but you're trying to find the square root of 3. Like, how are you? It doesn't make any sense. No, you just add 2 + 2 and you get 4. But if you add 2 + 2 and then all of a sudden you're trying to equate for the fucking, I don't even know if you equate this. I really need to go back to school. But yeah, this whole variable doesn't add up. At least to me, it doesn't. And I feel like we need to focus on the variables that are at hand. All the fighters that are at hand, that are ready to be constantly fighting. That's what Gilbert Burns was fighting back to back to back to back to back. So it's like, how much do I need to prove? How much do I need to prove to get that title shot again? You know, do I need to keep fighting every month? Then so be it. And he did. Unfortunately, his last fight, he got hurt. But if he had won, he would have gone straight for the freaking title, I think. C'est la vie. I just hope that they figure it all out. I am excited for Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat, but I don't know how they're gonna make that weight at 170. He's huge. Hamza's a big motherfucker. I guess that they can go up to 180, both of them. But if they want to make it at welterweight, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I feel like, because Kamaru's a big dude too. Kamaru's a very big dude. That fool walks around 205 and cuts down to 170. That's 30 pounds. Or 195 even. Even 195 is 20 pounds cutting weight. So he's a bigger dude. And Khamzat, he cuts down for, I think, 210, 220. He's an even bigger dude. So I feel like going down to one, or cutting up to one, cutting up. Think about that for a second. Cutting up instead of 170 to 180 would make sense for both of these fighters. I know, but it's just, okay. You see the entertaining fight at 180 versus Kamaru Usman versus You see what I mean? It's so confusing. It's so confusing to see what to think clearly. You make the fight at 180 for Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev in October, right? But then what? It's a meaningless fight. This is a welterweight fighter and a clueless fighter who doesn't know where they're supposed to be fighting at. It doesn't mean anything after that. They fight, we have an entertaining fight, but then after that, there's nothing else. There's no storyline to it besides Kamaru Usman moving up to 180. Because I don't think Khamzat Chimaev is going to be doing that 170 cut over and over and over and over again. I don't think the fight should be made, low key. As much as we want it, I don't think it should be made. If Khamzat cannot successfully make the 170 cut, it should not be made. We need to have a 100% affirmation from Khamzat that he's going to be able to make that 170 and not be cutting in the last fucking week. Like, it's professionalism. Khamzat needs to show up with the professionalism, not like last time. Because what we were left off with was just, it was in a way disrespectful towards the sport, towards the audience, towards the fans. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Should Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev fight in October in the welterweight division? And then what? And then who should Kamaru fight afterwards? Who should Khamzat fight afterwards? Should Khamzat stay at 170 or move up to 180 and stay there? He says he can beat Israel Adesanya. So it's like, all right, you're saying that you can beat Israel Adesanya. So why are you even talking about Kamaru Usman right now? You know what I mean? I guess you can get 2 belts. You could get the belt in welterweight. You could get the belt in middleweight. And maybe you go up to light heavyweight because you're just that big of a fucking dude. I don't know what's his plan. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the plan is for the welterweights, for Khamzat, for Kamaru, for everyone that's just on a hold. Because they're not really making moves. Leon, Kobe, Bilal, Gilbert. Who else is on the welterweight rankings? Watch. I'll list all of the rankings, and you'll be like, yep, yeah, I agree. Watch. UFC rankings. Right? I'll even show you my screen just so you guys see what I'm looking at. There we go. I made it full screen. We're going down to the welterweights. Look at this. Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, Kobe Covington, Bilal Muhammad, Khamzat Chimaev, Gilbert Burns, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Stephen Thompson, Geoff Neal, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque, Neil Magny, Michael. Like, there's so many fighters or there's so many fights to be made. I feel like we've talked about this before. And it's just a matter of time before these fights getting started. But when you start throwing in somebody who's not supposed to be in this division anymore, back inside the division, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought that we came to the agreement that Khamzat Chimaev isn't going to be in this division anymore because of that weight. That was 8 pounds. How are you overweight by 8 pounds? And they still gave him a fight. I thought if you didn't make weight, you can't fight. I thought if you didn't make weight, you lost the fight. Nate Diaz has that win over Khamzat Chimaev. Part of the battle is making the weight. That's part of your job. You know, and I feel like if you don't do your job right, how do you continue having that job? How do you continue work that day? They just, oh well, let's just switch this up and give him this fight instead because that makes sense. Like, no, dog, you were, in my eyes, you were disqualified. You couldn't make the fight. You weren't ready for the fight. You know, you were 8 pounds overweight. I don't know how they gave it to him. So now let's just give him a fucking X title shot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they should do this. I don't think so. As much as I want to see Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev, I don't think that they should make this fight. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I'm going to shut up now. I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. We're getting to 1,000 followers or subscribers here on YouTube by the end of the month. Or not by the end of the month, but in 30 days span. I think we're like 2 days in. And I hope you guys are staying interested. I'm barely figuring this out. And you guys are along this whole figuring out road with me because this welterweight division is so fucking confusing. I'll see you guys all in the next video.